Welcome to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations while high by individuals right in the smoothest city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Today on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, we continue on the month of September on loving yourself. Part 2, why you should love yourself. All up next on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze after these breaks. What up? Welcome to my corner of the universe. If you want to sit there and advertise for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze and have your products or services be placed here, let us handle it for you. So doesn't matter if you're a small business, you're a big business, you got products, artworks, whatever it is, let SBC handle your workload, okay? Let us handle your workload. So go ahead and email us at sonyblazecorner.com and we'll get that to you as soon as you can. Peace. Welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-mind individuals right in the smoothest city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Today on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, we're about to get real deep into some conversations. But before we get into the recap, I just want to go ahead and let y'all know, y'all probably noticed by now that the background is a little bit different now. So I'm in the process of continuing to update, upgrade, and do whatever that I need to do to make Deep Talk with Sony Blaze the best episode, the best show that I can actually do. So hopefully I do enjoy it. And also just as well too, y'all can't see what's going down here, but yeah, I'm on my skivvies right now. You see the jacket and shirt, but I'm in my skivvies. So anyways, a bit of more what's going on with Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Now, I want to actually go ahead and have this running on a channel. There we go. I was looking for this. I wanted to start to have Deep Talk with Sony Blaze with other content with that's in the Sony Blaze Corner brand to be on a 24-hour broadcast. So I'm going to need y'all help. So I'm eventually going to add in the place that y'all can go to help me out. But you can actually go ahead and assist me as of this moment right now by going to these links that's down in the bottom. One of them is Patreon, but I want to hold off on Patreon, but you can sign up now for Patreon. The link will be down in the bottom. But to make it easier for myself and for anyone who's behind the screen, you can go to my coffee. It's right down the bottom of the link. It's for now we're going to go ahead and use coffee because it's going to be a lot easier for me to work with, especially because it goes straight directly towards where it needs to attend to, and instead of me waiting for a very long time to get what I need to get. So, anyways. Yeah, so other than that, we'll continue to upgrade more Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, the stages and whatsoever, and like I said before, I can't wait to get the some guests going on the Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. But at least for now, this is going to be the new look or the new angle of Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. So we're getting there. We're getting there. So anyways, let's go ahead and before we run too much time, let's go to a quick recap of what happened last week on of Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. What was last week? It was letting. It was. Let me go ahead and pull that up real quick. I went to the wrong one. You gotta. Oh, did I put it away somewhere? You gotta love yourself. There we go. All right, there we go. I want to make sure I put this up. I thought I had this ready, but then I pulled up the wrong episode. I was just about to sit there and say something else. But anyways, so around last week episode, what we was talking about is you gotta love yourself. You have to love yourself. Doesn't matter what other people say, but you gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. Because once you love yourself, well, first of all, there is no harm from loving yourself. Straight up, let's get through that. There's no harm from loving yourself. And the reason why you should love yourself is because there's nobody that's out there other than the Most High God that can sit there and love you the way how you're supposed to be loved, other than yourself. I mean, yeah, your parents, yes, they're going to love you the way like most people won't love you, but to get that love and care that you truly need, you gotta love yourself. And like I said before, there is no harm from loving yourself. Anyways, so when you start to love yourself, you begin to love others properly. And what I mean by that is it's like training, pretty much. Like once you start loving yourself, you train yourself how to love others. And what I mean by that is you don't love others and how you see them or how you think they should be loved. You actually love them for who they are. Like, if somebody who's a liar, you're gonna love them, regardless of whether they're a liar or not. You love them to the fact. I mean, hey, that's not. Mainly what I'm just saying is once you learn how to love yourself, you're going to learn how to sit there and properly love those people who needs to be properly loved. Because a lot of times we don't really actually do that. We just tend to just sit there and just throw it out there and just throw our love out there and see what sticks. Now, when you start to love yourself, one thing you start to know, or one thing you start to notice, is who should be around and who you should hang around with once you're in that process of discovering yourself and how to love yourself. Because a lot of times, when it comes down like this, it's just like your kids and whatsoever. There's certain people that you don't want your kids to hang around with, and then there's certain people you do want to hang around with. So you got to treat it as is. Now, when you start to love yourself, you start to notice some of the things that you tend to do, and some of the things you really truly don't love, and some of the things you actually do love. You start to notice like amazing things that you could do, and then some of the stuff that you're not great at. And once you start loving yourself, you're going to start to notice a lot of those things while you figuring stuff out. That sounds very messed up, but hey, that's how my brain is working out right now. And remember, there's nothing wrong from choosing yourself when it comes down to the end of the day. There's nothing wrong from choosing yourself and say, you know what? I love who I am, so I choose myself other than everybody else. Just because this person is that and that person is this, I am me. Me is I. And I choose myself. So when it comes down to it, once you're in that process of loving yourself, knowing how to love yourself, you'll know how to pick and choose your battles, and you begin to realize there was nothing wrong from choosing yourself when it comes down to it. Now, after all of that, loving yourself is one of the greatest loves that you can ever experience, other than, the Most High God, the universe, wherever you like to call it. The greatest love that you can receive into this physical plane that we're staying on is the love for yourself. if once you sit there and feel that love for yourself, life, I won't say life get easier, but life get a lot easier for you. Life get a lot easier for you. So yeah, so that's about it for the recaps of what was going on with Deep Talk with Sony Blaze last week. You gotta love yourself. You gotta love yourself. But eventually soon I'm going to start to do some voting soon on these next episodes of Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Not the ones that's under for September, but after September. It was like October. Yeah, October. And then we're going to see exactly what episodes I should do. So anyways, also, I'm not like at 100 because it's like what, 3:00 at night. So I do excuse me if I sound a little blah. But anyways, that's about it. Now, if you're just joining me for the first time, make sure you go ahead and just hit that subscribe button. Make sure you go ahead and like this video, and make sure you share with others. Anyways, thank you for joining my corner of the universe. And also, if you want to support the channel, I do have a coffee link. Go ahead and hit the link down in the description. Go ahead and just hit me up. Anyways, thank you for joining my corner of the universe. We'll be right back after these breaks. What up? Welcome to my corner of the universe. If you want to sit there and advertise for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze and have your products or services be placed here, let us handle it for you. So doesn't matter if you're a small business, you're a big business, you got products, artworks, whatever it is, let SBC handle your workload, okay? Let us handle your workload. So go ahead and email us at sonyblazecorner.com, and we'll get that to you as soon as you can. Peace. Welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-minded individuals right in the smoothest city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Today, well, not today, we already went through that. Like I said, I have a little, I guess it's the energy of it all. So especially because, new stage and whatever, I gotta break this in. But anyways, today we are having a deep convo about you gotta love yourself, and a part 2, and why you should love yourself. So let's ask that question. Why should you love yourself? Well, one of the easiest answer is why not? Like, really, why not love yourself? I mean, when it comes down to it, like I said in the last week episode, one of the greatest loves that you will ever experience is the love for yourself. It's self-love, self-care. So, and that's the thing, because let's be real. Other than your parents, there's not going to be a lot of people who's going to show you that's the amount of love that you're looking for. Because I'm pretty sure if you're watching this, you're looking for that love that's not going to betray you, who's not going to sit there and take advantage of you. That love, well, technically, if it's like that, that's not really love. That's just, use. That's somebody who's using something and whatsoever, and that's not real love. And the thing is, there's not really a guarantee that so and so person will actually do that or not, because like I said before, there is no guarantee for it not to be happening, other than if it was your parents and they was giving you love. Because at least most of them, that's not a lot of them that's out there that's good, but at least most of them will sit there and love you without any strings attached. And that's the thing, once you love yourself, there's no strings attached to it. You sit there and love how you need to love, or I should say, you will start to receive the love that you deserve. And with that self-love, there is no truly betraying. I mean, it could happen. I'm not a mental expert and whatsoever. I'm not a psychologist and whatsoever, but I'm pretty sure that you ain't gonna betray yourself and whatsoever. Now, what loving yourself looks like? Well, loving yourself is, first of all, how it looks like it's, well, being consistent in creating videos each and every week. That's what love yourself is. I'm just using that example. Or loving yourself is going to sleep on time. Loving yourself, how it looks like, is going to the gym every day, even though there be times that you don't want to go to the gyms. Loving yourself is to sit there and be able to have a conversation with that individual without no issue happening on your end, or no backlashes on your end. What loving yourself looks like is you actually deciding, you know what, today I want to eat, this healthy food instead of, this junk food. Basically, what loving yourself looks like is self-care, is self-discipline. It's just self-actualization. I know I say that wrong. My bad. But mainly, loving yourself, what it looks like is love. And that's it. It's love. It's discipline. It's willingness. It's patience. That's how it looks like. And you're giving all that love, all that, whatever you like to call it, to yourself. And you're learning like the lessons that you need to learn once you do that. Now, when it comes to love, what it benefits, what's the benefits of loving yourself? Well, one of the main benefits, I always have to say, of loving yourself is the patience. Because it's like this, when we talk about patience, and what I mean by that is there's a lot of people who actually truly do love us from the bottom of their heart. But even though they do love us, there's only so much that person can actually take. Because let's be real, a lot of us, we're a lot to actually deal with. I know I am. I know I'm a lot to deal with. And I know that I make mistakes myself. So, and one of the benefits is, like I said before, which I forgot what I was talking about, is well let's go to the next one. Another benefit of loving yourself is the patience. Patience. Well, I think, no, actually that's what it was. I was also talking about. It was patience, because like I said before, the person who loves you, there's only so much they can actually take. And with yourself, you're going to have a lot of patience with yourself. Now, obviously, there's some things that you may get tired of. It happens. We're all humans. We're all humans. So, another benefit of loving yourself is, well, I said the privacy. The privacy. So a lot of people like privacy. Yes, privacy. Because I remember I was sitting there watching this one thing. I believe it was on TikTok and whatsoever. And I can't remember everything what this individual said, but he was like, not everything is meant to be shared. Not everything, not all your business not meant to be shared. And that's the thing. A lot of times when we love someone, now there are trustworthy people, but at least a lot of them, once you sit there and share something with someone, just like Vince, it goes to other rooms. Now, obviously, the person who truly loves you won't sit there and say your business and that's out there, obviously. But when it comes down to it, it's not, oh, it's especially with 2025. Everybody want to actually, talk about this and that and put everybody's business out there. And with you loving yourself, it gives the benefit of privacy, because then once you love yourself, some of the things that shouldn't be told will stay with you, because obviously you ain't gonna sit there and just spill out your own business like some people would have. But I'm pretty sure there's some people who still sit there and just can't hold stuff like water. And now one more thing that before, because we're almost time for the break, but one more thing that is a benefit for loving yourself is the care. I actually forgot exactly what I was going with that, but it's the care. It's the care that you will put in for yourself. Because a lot of times when we do love something, we put a lot of care and we put a lot of effort into it. So with that being said, instead of putting the care and effort on whatever place or thing that you would have put all your effort, all your love into, you'll actually put it into yourself. You're going to sit there and actually work on yourself. You're going to sit there and build on yourself. I mean, that's when it comes down to it, is to sit there and have a better time with yourself, for yourself. So anyways, that's it for this segment of Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. And also, if you want to be a sponsor for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, please let me know. There's going to be, just go ahead and DM me on any of these platforms. That's going to be linked down in the bottom. Also, if you want to go ahead and support Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, we do have a coffee beyond the link. Anyways, thank you for joining me on this segment of Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. We'll be right back after these breaks. What up? Welcome to my corner of the universe. If you want to sit there and advertise for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze and have your products or services be placed here, let us handle it for you. So doesn't matter if you're a small business, you're a big business, you got products, artworks, whatever it is, let SBC handle your workload, okay? Let us handle your workload. So go ahead and email us at sonyblazecorner.com and we'll get that to you as soon as you can. Peace. Welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-minded individuals right in the smooth city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. So if you're just joining me for the first time, we're talking about you gotta love yourself. Why you should love yourself. So let's get back right into the conversation, all right? So when you love yourself, when you actually giving yourself love, I mean, let's actually just really think about this, okay? So when you really love yourself, it's like taking care of a plant. Love yourself is like taking care of a plant. Let's go ahead and think about it. Like let's talk about something that I do like to grow, and I'm trying to grow myself too. I need to get me some seed. Let's talk about marijuana. Yes, it's legal in the state of New York. So yes, so for recreational uses, medical uses, as well as growing. So, anyways, we're gonna use the marijuana plant, but you can use any plant, anyway. So, when it comes to loving yourself, it's like taking care of a plant, a marijuana plant. So let's say it starts with a seed. Like a seed is, it's whatever it is. So let yourself, let maybe whatever happiness you want to actually, start to grow up, or you want to actually do a job whatsoever. But doesn't matter. So as like a plant, you sit there, you start with a seed. You sit there and maybe you plant on the ground. And once you plant on the ground, there's, maybe like a, 50-50 chance that it will sprout once you put it on the ground, and a 50-50 chance that it doesn't, or 50 chance that it won't. Now, what you can do, you can go and do it like a technique. You germinate it, and then the height will be a lot even higher. It'd probably be like maybe jump up towards 80 to 90% that it will sprout up, and then like 10% it will fail. So after that, you sit there, you get the plant, you got it to sprout out, you plant it on the dirt, you put it on a pot, nice little, marijuana plant. Hello there, hello. So after you put it in the pot, what you do is you start to water it. You begin to take care of it, make sure this has plenty of light, and make sure you put it on a watering schedule. Now, this is where a lot of people start to fail at, or start to drop it is the beginning parts, or maybe the later parts, but we'll come back to that. So when you're sitting there taking care of it, you can sit there and start to, once it gets big, you probably be happy, like, oh, that's great. But then you start to notice that it's going to take a lot more care for not just water. Now you just need to actually give it some food. You might have to sit there and repot it and put it in a bigger pot, and all these steps. And let's say if you wasn't just doing it just to do it and not doing it out of love, if you're just doing it just to do it, you're probably going to take some shortcuts. And then once you take some shortcuts, then maybe eventually you probably be like, you know what? I don't feel like doing this anymore. You get bored and you just let it go. And then what may happen is it might actually grow. And if it grows, it may have some buds, or it might completely die. Now, if you actually sit there and actually have love for it, what you're going to actually do, you're going to sit there, you're going to repot it, you're going to flower, you're going to water it every day, you're going to feed it every day until, weeks later, it's going to grow into a big, big plant. And that's how you're going to have to think of yourself, as a plant. Because it's what you put in, what you get out of it. So if you don't put in a lot of time and effort, you're not going to get too much out of it. So remember, once you're taking care of a plant, man, or I should say, once you're taking care of yourself, loving yourself, if you truly love yourself, you're going to put all the time and effort that you're going to need when it comes down to it. Now, there are times, well, let me tell you a little bit how. Now, I want to go a little bit more, and also I'm still experimenting with these, with a little bit of the lining with Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. But anyways, when it comes out to loving yourself, for your example, as I was trying to get at with me, when I was at my lowest, I'm gonna tell you like this, you know what? I can't really put those into words right now. So mainly what I'm just trying to think of a good example of, a personal experience. So the best way I could say how a great example is Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. As you can see, the first few episodes and versus now, and how loving yourself, and with my personal experiences, if you sit there and go through the old episodes, we get back to them. In the old episodes, There was not really a lot of care to it. It was just pretty much me just throwing shit out there and see if it works. And I didn't record a lot of things. It's not up towards the standard that we are now. I mean, it's getting there. And yeah, this not really a great story. So we're just gonna skip this whole thing. Like I said, we're experimenting on how we're gonna do every segment to keep a cohesive episode running. So to get straight to this, man, how not loving yourself and love yourself look like is, first of all, one of the great examples Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. How not loving yourself is one. I haven't been doing any content for a very long time. What's not loving yourself is not actually going to the gym when you promise yourself. How not loving yourself looks like is you staying in bed and not trying to get out off bed at all. You staying in bed all day, every day. How not loving yourself look like? It's not actually keeping care of yourself. It's not like taking a shower. It's not actually washing your face. Go ahead, wash your face. How not loving yourself looks like. How loving yourself is just not eating. Mainly what I'm saying is not really truly taking care of yourself. That's how not loving yourself looks like. And how loving yourself looks like is actually be able to go to the gym when you don't want to, especially because there's our time. We're gonna go back. Let's go back to the gym example. Like, because a lot of us, we want to sit there and have that nice body and sit there and have a six-pack, got some muscles, nice slim body, nice shapely booty and whatsoever, nice shapely ass. But we have to go to the gym. And when it comes out to how loving yourself is when you're not motivated, where you're not excited to actually go to the gym, is when you go to the gym. That's how loving yourself looks like. Loving yourself looks like is be able to take care of yourself each and every day. Waking up and deciding to wake up every day and actually going out, taking a shower, cleaning your space each and every day. That's how loving yourself looks like. Loving yourself is actually taking care of yourself. Because a lot of times we sit there, we get so busy, and then once we sit there and we listen to a lot of other people as well too, and when all that comes in, we start to lose ourselves. We start to lose ourselves a lot. And love yourself is mainly, when it comes down to it, is giving a pause to all that. Be like, yo, okay. And then pause and actually sitting there and be like, all right, this is what I need to do for myself to have a good, healthy homeostasis. Oh man, but that's what when it comes to look like. So anyway, that's about it for this segment. I do apologize what was going on. Just a little bit before we go on break. Just a little bit of exactly what we're just trying to do. At least on the third segment, for moving forward for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, I want to go ahead and give some examples and personal stories and experience on the third segment to give it more, what's that word? To give it more relatability to it. So anyways, that's about it for this segment of Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. If you want to go ahead and support us, go ahead and click the link. Go ahead and find the coffee. You can go ahead and hit me up. And we do have Patreon. I'm still working with a lot of stuff. I'm still working with getting the newsletter right. So anyway, you can go ahead and hit me up and on Patreon. Anyways, thank you for joining my corner of the universe. We'll be right back. Peace. What up? Welcome to my corner of the universe. If you want to sit there and advertise for Deep Talk with Sony Blaze and have your products or services be placed here, let us handle it for you. So doesn't matter if you're a small business, you're a big business, you got products, artworks, whatever it is, let SBC handle your workload, okay? Let us handle your workload. So go ahead and email us at sonyblazecorner.com and we'll get that to you as soon as you can. Peace. Welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, where we get to have deep intellectual conversations with high-minded individuals right in the smoothest city in the world, Rochester, New York. I am your very knowledgeable host, Sony Blaze, and welcome back to Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. Today on Deep Talk with Sony Blaze, we are continuing the conversation. You gotta love yourself and why you should love yourself. So earlier in segment 3, I had a little fumble over there, and we're gonna keep that in it because also I do want to actually do this live, actually have live episodes on Wednesdays, maybe as a special or something. We're gonna do that as a special. So more is coming up soon, and I want this to be as relatable and personable as I can with Deep Talk with Sony Blaze. So like I said, I do a lot of cuts and remove and retakes, but once it gets towards this deep into it, a lot of the stuff's going to just stays in there. A lot of it is. So anyways, let's go ahead and get back to it. Now, when it comes to loving yourself, start today, because there is no better moment than now. Starting today and starting now, there is no better moment but now to actually go ahead and to love yourself. I mean, if you believe you're not loving yourself, you right there who's watching this, you right there, start to love yourself today, now. Do it now. Don't fuck everything else. Do it right now. Love yourself right now. Love yourself today. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself today. Okay. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself today, man. Because see, the thing is, when it comes down to it, it has to do with yourself. It has to do with you. It has to do of how you feeling and what you're going to do within the future. And and to really feel the love and to really give that self-love, you don't have to wait until, when things get better. You don't have to wait till next week and be like, you know what? Next week, I'm going to go ahead and start loving myself. No, you don't have to sit there. It starts today. It starts for right now, at this moment that you hear these words right now. It starts today. It starts as soon as you actually have that thought. Be like, you know what? I need to love myself more. Every time I love myself more. It's that moment. As soon as you have that moment, like, I should start to love myself a lot more, that's when you should do it. Just right away. Don't sit there and just wait around and ask and waiting for permission for somebody to just tell you, you know what? It's okay. Just love yourself. Don't wait for permission, because a lot of us, we tend to actually do that. We sit there, we wait for permission and be like, all right, maybe if we sit there and just be that much patient, then that person will sit there and love us. Don't wait for others, because if you sit there and just waiting for a sign or somebody to tell you, you're going to be waiting forever. So there is no better moment but now to love yourself, okay? So if you're out there, and one thing too, if you're out there and you're feeling alone and you don't feel like there's nobody who's giving you the love that you need, please seek help. Please seek. And I'm going to say this whenever it's time to talk about mental health and whatsoever, because, go ahead and seek help. If it's from a professional help, like a professional therapist, go out for that therapist. If you want to go search for a mentor, find that mentor. If it's videos like mine, sit there and watch it. Just whatever you do, just find a way to sit there and find that help. Because helping yourself is loving yourself. Okay? Helping yourself is loving yourself. Okay? And while you love yourself, do things that inspire you. do things that get you moving forward, okay? Because that's what it comes down to it. Because a lot of times when you probably really don't feel like you're not loving yourself correctly, it's because you're not moving forward. You're probably stuck at a spot. And I'm still dealing with that myself as well too. There'll be times that I sit in the bed and like, and that's the thing. Whenever I tell y'all this, I won't just say advice, but advice. These are things that I'm going through, and these are things that I'm putting myself through. So when it comes down to it, you got to do things that inspire you. So like when you at that point that you're stuck, you don't know where to go, how to go, what you need to do is you need to go ahead and first of all, just find a way to get yourself moving. Just get yourself moving. Just, as soon as you get, you feel like, you know what, I need to get off that bed. That's when you go ahead and move and put in that work, put in that effort, and sit there and start moving forward and do things that gets that blood pump, get you inspired. So if, making videos is inspire you, start doing that a lot more. If actually going out and talking to random people, go ahead and do that. Just find things that get you out of that funk that you're in and get you moving forward. Okay? So loving yourself is doing things that inspire you and to get you moving forward. That's what loving yourself is. Now, in closing, when you love yourself, the main reason why you should love yourself is because, you know what? Why not? Because nobody's going to give you the correct amount of love other than yourself and God. But other than that, love yourself is, getting yourself moving. And how loving yourself looks like is you actually moving forward. What loving yourself looks like is actually waking up in the morning. It don't have to be some extravagant thing. It could just be a simple fact of choosing yes or no on a pamphlet. And the benefits of loving yourself is that you begin to learn more about yourself. You begin to sit there and be more disciplined with yourself. Because when it comes down to it, when you love something, you're not just like kids. You ain't gonna put them around in certain situations and whatnot. So that's what loving yourself is all about. Now, when you love yourself, it's like taking care of a plant. Because when you're taking care of a plant, you're going to make sure you sit there, put it in the right place, put it in the pot, water it every day, make sure you give it nice food, and whenever it needs to move from one environment to another, that's what you do. And that's how loving yourself is. And you got to think of yourself that way. You got to water yourself every day. You got to remove yourself environments that you don't need to be in, and ones that you need to be in, and also feed yourself, spiritually, mentally, whatever it is, and feed yourself. And I was trying to get to my highs and lows, and we're still working on how we get towards personal stories a lot better, or at least a better personal story. Now, how not loving yourself and how loving yourself, how that looks like is, a best way I could say is whether you get out of bed or not. If you get out of bed, that's a great example of loving yourself, because you sit there and force yourself out of the spot that you kept yourself into. And how's not loving yourself is staying at the same exact spot. You're staying in bed all day, every day. That's what happened. Now, when it comes down to it, when you start to love yourself, the moment that you should pick is now. This moment now is the best moment to actually start to love yourself. And while you continue to love yourself, do things that help you out, inspire you, put a smile on your face, and while you're doing it, continue moving forward. You know what? Just move forward. Forever. Forward ever, backwards never. Forward ever, backwards ever. Never. Forward ever, backwards never. Maurice Bishop. So when it comes down to it, man, when love yourself is taking care of yourself. So when you ask that question again, why should you love yourself? look at that person and say, why not? Why not? But anyways, thank you for joining me in my corner of the universe. Once again, it's been enjoyable. I have to say, around the end, it was a lot better. It was pretty much a tough episode. It was like 3 o'clock actually not 3 o'clock, but 4 o'clock, about to be 5. But we're here, we record, we got to keep on keeping consistent, because when it comes down to it, that's how loving myself is, to actually keep consistent with Deep Talk with Sony Blaze each and every Wednesday. And also, if you want to help me keep consistent and keeping Deep Talk with Sony Blaze going, you can go ahead and help me out by going to my Ko-fi link. Go ahead and support me there. If you want to support me through Patreon, I do have a Patreon page. I'm still working with a lot. You can sit there and help me out on Patreon. All the links will be down at the bottom. Anyways, go ahead and join me in any of the social media platforms that I do have. And eventually soon we're going to be working on putting these episodes back up on other stream platforms other than YouTube. But anyways, thank you for joining my corner universe. Peace.